What's up, gamers? Welcome to I Might Need This Later, a gamers podcast. My name's Joe, and with me, as always, are my boys. One of them, an author of a forthcoming book called I'm a Terrible Gamer, Even My Mom Says So. And the other, I Might Need This Later, a gamer podcast, sexiest person of December. It's Jesse and Connor. Say hello, guys.
Yeah, I'm the sexiest person in December.
I'll take it. I literally look forward every week to what your intro is gonna be because I know it's always like top notch.
It's always going to be ridiculous, that's for sure.
Yo, do I get a calendar like me in a new pose every month, or is
I
it
want
just December?
Yeah,
want
it's you and all of your Comic-Con cosplays over the last few years.
Nice.
I want 12 sexy Comic-Con cosplays in a calendar.
You got it.
Yeah.
I'll make that happen. That'll be the official calendar of I Might Need This Later.
Guys, we have a very special episode lined up for all the listeners today. It's going to be our very first ever lightning round. It's going to be ridiculous, I'm sure. But first, I want to remind everyone that we are active on social media. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at I Might Need This Later AGP, on Twitter at IMNTL_podcast. And most definitely, you can contact us by email at I Might Need This Later AGP@gmail.com. Also, just a quick couple other announcements. So our YouTube channel is up and running. We've got a couple series going on there with some great content being played by our team here at the podcast. So I've got my own Final Fantasy series. Jesse's doing all of our Pokemon stuff on there, and I'm sure Connor's going to get some stuff on there shortly.
Ayo.
And lastly, our Twitch channel is a go as well. So you might catch any of the three of us there live at any time. But me personally, I'll be streaming there on Fridays and Saturdays from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Arizona time, which is currently Mountain Time.
I'll
Any
be
of you
streaming
guys?
there when it's quiet.
Yeah, pretty much.
How hard it is to
have
stream
any
in a computer room?
announcements?
No, I did not.
Nothing? All right, cool.
Nothing interesting.
All right, let's get on to the question of the week. Jesse, what do you got for us?
All right, so the question of the week this week: what video game character do you most relate to?
I'll go first. All right, so all right, I guess my answer would be: have either of you guys played Dragon Age?
I have not.
A long time ago.
Okay, so one of the first characters that joins your party, his name's Alistar, and I really see like a lot of myself in him. He's witty, he's goofy, but at the same time, he takes everything that's going on very seriously. Like when things get like super difficult in the game, he deflects with humor and comes up with like the most ridiculous jokes at like really inappropriate times, which is something that I tend to do, unfortunately. However, obviously there are quite a few stark differences. I mean, he's jacked and I'm not.
Wait,
But
you're not?
if I were no, not even a little bit. But if I were to put in that particular situation, having to like trek around the country, fighting hordes of darkspawn, and knowing that every living thing that I come in contact with, both human and not, wants to kill me, I'd probably get a little jaded and start laughing everything off. That's probably how I'd handle it. So I'm gonna go with Alistar from Dragon Age just because of his humor.
All I can think of is Joe being a cow.
Yeah, I'm a cow.
I like it because like
Boo.
I didn't have like an answer for this like question this week, but like I really like that because that's also how like I deal. Like the dark humor, man, it can get you through so much.
Exactly.
Like
Just deflect everything with humor.
just
Go.
everything.
Why
It's the
deal with
best way.
things?
Boom. What's your main coping skill? I laugh at it.
Joe is Chandler Bing.
Yeah, mostly I'm Chandler Bing. Anyone that watches Friends.
That's literally my
Did it.
favorite Friends character, so makes sense.
All right. So Connor has nobody. He relates to Kirby because he just likes to eat things.
Boom.
Oh, I thought it's because he sucks.
I'll go with it. I'll go with Jesse's answer. That's better.
There you go. All right, so I'm gonna go with one. Joe's gonna boo me. I'm okay. I'm gonna go with Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. He's easy for me to relate to because he spends most of the game trying to be a loner, not really trying to be affected by things. He's kind of an emo kid, which, well, I'm all right with that label. I've kind of lived that life my whole life.
It's the best label to have.
Exactly. He spends most of the game trying to find a cause, like something to really, not trying to find, but more or less like trying to find something to motivate him to And he does, and yeah, he obviously finds Renoa and the group she's part of, and finds kind of motivation. So I relate to it's like kind of part of who I've been. It's like I always tried to be. There was parts of my life for sure when I was going through hard times where I was trying to be a loner, and then as things started progressing and getting better, I started to find things that motivated me and find things that I belonged to, and then had a reason to really start doing good things and be a better person and strive to be a better person for the people around me. And I can relate to Squall in many different ways. Also, I would love a sick gun blade.
The main reason, the gun blade.
I kind of feel bad now because like I'm really gonna poo poo all over this game like when it comes up later.
Oh, it's
So
okay. I'm fine with it.
yeah, but that is a good answer. I mean, and knowing you for as long as I have, I tend to disagree with some of that. But you know, if that's how you relate, then cool.
You're like, I can't disapprove of that. You know, if it's how
Yeah,
you
I
feel,
can
it's how you
disapprove of it.
feel.
Yeah.
Well, there was a part of my life where there was no Joe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't exist.
Joe
Hey,
didn't
I
exist.
disappeared.
He went into another universe.
it happens. Sometimes we gotta go. It happens, you know.
Yep.
All
All
right,
right.
boys.
Well,
Are you ready?
thank you, Jess, for that question of the week, and it's time for the main event. You guys ready?
Oh,
I'm kind of-
snaps.
Okay,
As
so
ready as
this
I'm
is
gonna be.
this is going to get ridiculous. I'm telling you now because the way that this is going to work. So we're going to deviate from our normal draft mode, where we're just going to pick 4 things to talk about them. This is going to be the lightning round. So what we've decided to do for this week is each of us have prepared 3 games. Okay, and we're going to go back and forth or take turns basically. Each of us are going to have 1 game. So for example, Jesse's going to go first with Earthbound, and Connor and I are going to rapid fire dumb questions at him, and Jesse has to answer them no matter what they are. He has to answer them.
They're off the cuff. These
Yeah,
are all off the cuff for me.
Yeah, everything's going to be off the cuff. We've written our answers. We've prepared. We've written our questions. Yeah, we've written our questions, and he
We're
has to
ready.
do everything off the top of the head. We're ready. So,
It's
you
gonna
guys
be
ready to
good.
get started? Yeah.
So for the first game, coming at me, Earthbound.
Yep. All right, Connor, go first.
All right. So Earthbound. Where are Ness's parents?
So Ness's mom is at home making him steak all the time. And Ness's dad, well, he's 1 phone call away. You can talk to him at the phone. He is the phone. He actually, it's funny because you have to save via calling your dad on the phone. And sometimes he calls you and he's like, hey, man, you've been playing for a long time. Why don't you take a break?
Trying to be
And
responsible, Dad.
even worse, sometimes you get homesick and you have to call your mom to quote unquote heal the homesick. Because sometimes you'll just, instead of attacking, it'll be like Ness is homesick.
Ness misses home. Yeah. All right, Jess, who would you rather date, Mr. Saturn or Dungeon Man?
Dungeon Man, I guess. He can build stuff. What? Nice
Gotta
question.
go.
Hey, on the fly, you know. Now, so you said that these parents are just a phone call away. How can he go on all these adventures? Did his parents just give him permission? He's a child. Why is he
Well,
allowed to go all about?
long story short, mom kind of realizes he's got some superpowers and stuff, and she realizes he kind of is.
And
gonna
a
be able
bug told him to.
Yeah, a bee.
Yeah,
told
a
him to.
bug. A bee told him to.
Oh,
A
so
bee
they
who got-
listen to a bug. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
From the
CP
future.
You wouldn't listen to a
CPS.
bee from the future?
I'm just saying.
CPS.
It sounds like CPS would be involved in this case.
I mean, to be honest, in the first town you go and you have to fight a gang. So I mean,
You're
Exactly.
actually fighting CPS.
you know you're a good kid because you don't join the gang.
All right, Jess, here we go. You ready? All
Yeah.
right. Onett, Tucson, Threed, Fourside. Name the next town if it existed. If it existed.
Oh man.
No, man, you better answer. It's
I know.
five something.
I know. I was gonna say 5 Hatton.
All right, 5 Hatton. Okay.
I really want a 5 Island.
All right, Connor, go.
That's all I got for Earthbound.
Okay. All right, Jess. If the Runaway 5 got trapped in 5 Hatton, what was the reason?
Oh man, they got stuck in another stupid contract again.
Alright,
They have to play on Broadway every day.
Who's more annoying, Pokey or the entire Happy Happy cult?
The entire Happy cult for sure.
Is Pooh's usefulness in the game a direct correlation to his name?
Yes.
Two more questions for you. If you were to make a sequel to the game, what profession would fly down from the sky randomly to harass the player and force themselves onto them?
A hairdresser.
And last but not least, would you ever eat a fuzzy pickle?
No. No way. As a guy who lives in a house with a lot of animals, no way. That means the
Really
pickle
bad.
fell on the ground and got cat hair on it somehow.
Over to Connor. Connor,
Nicely
you ready
done.
for your
Nicely
questions?
done, yes.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, so Connor's game is Halo. Jess, I'll let you give the first question.
Okay. Least favorite map and why?
Blood Gulch 2 open. No cover.
All right, Connor, if someone kills you with the Needler, are you forced to break your disc in half?
Absolutely. Twice. Glue it back together, break it again.
All right, Connor, I gotta know, what was your smack talking line while playing online?
That's not what your mom said last night.
Oh,
So, speaking of that, if someone teabags you, are you legally obligated to say something about their mom on Xbox Live?
If you don't, you shouldn't be on Halo. You have to respond with a mom joke.
all right, how many accounts did you have? Because the first 3 got banned.
Only one, actually.
When you play multiplayer, is everyone Master Chief or is it a simulation inside a simulation?
Oh man, that blows my mind. It has to be a simulation within a simulation. There can only be
All right.
one real Master Chief.
All right, any stories of an online experience where you played against somebody that you wish you could have mailed them a fart in real life?
Oh, any person under the age of 12 that I played against, that's what I would mail them with their squeaky voices. I would just respond in a fart.
All right, one question that I've always been wondering, how does Master Chief's visor not fog up? Is there a dehumidifier in his suit?
There has to be.
Nice.
There, I don't know why they didn't touch on that, because there should be.
And I've got one last question. What's more satisfying, a sticky grenade to the face or watching the sword fly away like a shooting star meme after Shotgun Beatdown?
Oh, that's a hard sticky grenade. Hands down, that feeling of sticking someone. You can just turn your back and walk away like you're John Wick.
I have one more.
Ooh.
What is the weapon that annoyed you the most?
Needler. 10 of 10. The frickin' Needler.
Always getting needled.
Always you just heard that sound and you were like, this dude's not even aiming. Gosh, I can't. Yeah, Needler, 10 of 10.
Guys, hit me with some World of Warcraft questions.
How much time have you wasted farming the Time Lost Proto Drake?
Actually, 0 time.
Really?
Which one was wait, hold on. Which one was the time lost one? I'm
That-
sorry, I don't remember which one.
The Time Lost was the one that spawned in
Oh, 0. Yeah, I didn't do that.
and it
I was
like
only
would
there
spawn
for, I was
once
there
every
for the
3
raiding
days.
and yeah, I was there for the raiding and farming for raid materials. That was all I did.
Interesting. I thought you would have farmed it more.
Nope.
Okay. 0 it is. All right. Joe, who was the worst player you ever played with without naming names, and it can't be me?
Can't name names. Or well, this one guy, when we were working on Nixia 10 Man when it was re-released for Wrath of the Lich King, there was this one guy who was so bad at tanking that after he had wiped and it was his fault, he threatened to hit himself in the genitals with a hammer, and then I booted him from the guild.
I hope he followed through.
I wouldn't
What?
be able to have kids after that.
Literally. What
I
is
think
your
that's good for the world.
What is your most favorite class and why?
Mage, because I'm
Ooh.
lazy and I just want to make food. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to like rely on other people. And I can blink and I can teleport. I don't have to rely on anyone.
Ooh, and you can automatically get to Dalaran.
Yep,
That
can go
was
anywhere I want.
that's the good stuff. I like it. I like it.
All right. If you met a person who played WoW in real life, what class would you judge them for playing?
If they were a rogue, you judge all rogues every time.
It makes me
Or-
happy because you didn't know what class I played.
Or you would judge beast hunters, which is hilarious because I started as a beast hunter.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with both those answers.
Yeah.
What was your least favorite raid and why?
I always dreaded when we had to do Trial of the Champion. I don't know why. I just dreaded doing that one. I think it's because I was a tank and there was a lot of stuff for me to do.
That's true.
If you were to teach WoW 101, what do you think the overarching themes would be?
Show up on time, shut up and listen to me.
Don't stand in fire.
Don't stand in fire. And mostly shut up and listen to me.
That's in 102. That's the advanced.
That's 102. Don't stand in fire is 102.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to spend the full year learning the first.
Yeah. Yeah, the shut up portion doesn't it takes a while to catch on.
Most favorite. I don't know if I'm saying that right English. What is your most favorite expansion and why?
It was easily Burning Crusade.
Oh, good choice.
Hands down. Yeah, hands down Burning Crusade.
Good choice. Good choice.
All right, I'm out.
I'm out.
You're
That's all
out.
I got too. Yeah.
And you guys gave me softballs.
Yeah. I wanted to give you softballs, so there were some funny questions.
I just
So we're
wanted.
gonna
I just
go
wanted
back
for
to
knowledge.
Jesse now. We're going back to Jesse now with Final Fantasy VIII. All right, I'm gonna give you a softball to start, Jess.
Thanks,
Okay?
man. I fear
right.
everything else after that.
Yeah, you should. So if you could keep one of the monsters that you encounter in the game as a pet, which one would it be?
What the? I don't even. None of them. I can't. What? One of the monsters?
Yeah,
Can I pick the Ifrit?
Sure.
Okay, well, I mean, he's
Sure.
terrifying.
I mean, why not like a cactuar?
Okay.
Cactuar's great.
Because I already have plenty of those.
Okay, fair enough.
What's your longest time playing in one sitting?
Oh, probably like 12 or 13 hours.
Damn.
All right. So we all know that Squall's definitely in an all-male emo band. What's the name of the
Yeah.
band?
Yeah. Scars from my sword.
God.
That's a good one.
He has a scar on his face. So.
That's all I got, Joe. The rest of the ones on this one are for you.
Yes, you ready for it?
Yeah.
The
When
rapid
Squall
fire.
when he gets lost in the flow of time, why didn't he take the horrible game with him?
Wow. Because some people have different opinions about games.
Okay.
Yeah,
True or false? True or false? But we all know it's true.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VIII is just a season of The Bachelor in disguise.
It's actually a season of. I think it's more of a season of Road Rules.
Okay, I can see it, but it's definitely The Bachelor also. It's a combined series. It's a crossover series.
It's a crossover series.
Bachelor and Road Rules. Okay.
Yeah. All right, 2 more questions. True or false again, okay? Could you play an entirely different game to completion at the same time as Final Fantasy VIII during one of its cinematic Guardian Force attack sequences?
Yes, 100%. Especially the final when you get it so long. It's ridiculous. It's like it feels like it's a minute and you have to use it multiple times in battles.
Yep.
And each animation takes longer than a minute.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
just feels
God.
like a minute. And here's the worst part. You get an ability with it that you have to tap during certain things to power it up. So the whole time you have to be paying attention.
All right,
Yeah,
and
you
my
can't.
last question.
All right, go ahead.
My last question, and I hope this is a yes. Did Zell ever get the hot dog he desired?
Of course he did. It just was after the game. You know what's funny? Zell was such a cool and fun character because he just wanted to punch things. That's all he wanted to do. He's like, hey, get over here.
That's all he wanted.
Yeah, and he was just mad at everybody. Not everybody, but
all right. That's all my questions.
Nicely done, Joe.
All right, Connor, you ready for Overwatch?
Oh, back at it again.
All right. So I'll go first on this one. All right. If you were horrible at video games, like I don't know, I'm just spitballing randomly, like someone like Jesse, what
Wow.
character would you play to be the least detrimental to your team?
Junkrat.
That's good because I played a lot of Junkrat. That's good. All right, I'm gonna stick with the same question from the other one. Who's the worst player you have ever played with, without naming names?
Without naming names?
I'm saying like the person you played with.
Person I played
Is he
with?
on this podcast?
Not on this podcast. Not on this podcast.
I was okay.
Yeah, you
Right.
you were a decent Mora. I'll give you that.
All right, who is it? Who's the worst?
The worst would have to be my buddy that I played with at my old job. His name was Quentin. It was terrible.
Literally, I said without naming names. Instead of describing him, he's just like, "Yo, Quentin."
Yeah,
Throwing. Just
how do you describe
get
some?
roasted.
How do you describe somebody that no one's gonna know without being generic? Like, hey, so it's gonna be this brown-haired gamer.
That's not. You're like this person
Played
a lot of
Overwatch.
this. He played. He's like he played only Roadhog, and he shot at me the entire time.
Oh well, I'll just throw it
okay.
under the bus. You know, I push under the bus and then I hold.
Okay,
to
why
make sure
was
the
he?
bus hits.
Why was he the worst player then?
It just zero play sense. No idea what was happening. Like you were just running in solo, and you're like, oh, okay, so you're God. You think you're God. That ain't gonna go well for you.
All right. So speaking of Roadhog,
Ooh.
okay. True or false? Actually, you know what? Change my mind.
Oh.
Roadhog is the most attractive character in Overwatch.
True.
Change my mind.
Oh, change your mind? I was just gonna go
Yeah,
with
change
true.
my mind.
Damn, that's hard because he is so attractive with his deep voice and his mask, depending on what you're into, you know. But change your mind, he's really
Yeah.
aggressive. He throws a hook at you. What if you're not into hooks? He never gets
I'm into that.
tired. He never gets tired. He just has Gatorade with him at all points. He just chugs.
Even better.
You know, he doesn't share it
Even
though.
better.
He doesn't share it with you. You get
He might share
thirsty, and he's like, "Oh no, get your own Gatorade."
I feel like he doesn't get it all in his mouth, so you can get some resistance.
He just sloshes it around, and you're like, "Oh,
Ooh,
here I am."
Get that backwash. Let's go.
There you go. All right.
Alright.
Who is the worst character because they annoyed you the most when people played them?
Widowmaker.
I was gonna say it's got to be
That
Widow, right?
leads into my question. What's
There
the
you go.
proper etiquette telling your teammate that he shouldn't play Widowmaker on offense?
What is the proper etiquette?
Yeah.
Are we talking like? I feel like your team me up here. Am I doing emotes? Am I on PC and I can chat, or am I on voice
Yeah, you're on
comms?
PC. You're
So
on
I
PC and voice comms. You got both.
Like my voice comes to be like, oh, so we got a shroud in here. You're just gonna hit all these headshots? If I see
Passive aggressive, I like it.
always.
Okay, I like it.
And then if I emotes whenever they were aiming, I would just emote in front of them so they couldn't scope in.
Oh my.
Because I was a troll. And so I was like, yeah, let's fight fire with fire.
You got any more, Jess?
Negative.
All right, I got one last question for you. True, false?
Ooh.
All Reaper players smell like patchouli.
Ooh, I love patchouli, so yes.
Do it.
Because I was a Reaper main, and I have no sense of smell, so joke's on everyone else. I can't smell it as a Reaper main. I just come out here laying fools out.
Thanks, Connor, for enjoying our questions about Overwatch. All right, guys, hit me with some Final Fantasy tactics.
All right, I think I'll start first on this one. I'll start gentle and normal. Who's your least favorite character and why?
It's easily Algus. He's a scumbag. He is racist. He is a classist, and he's an elitist. And I'm happy I killed him.
Damn, Joe.
For my question, if it's called Final Fantasy, why are there so many games if it was the Final Fantasy?
It's because they are in alternate universes, so they're the final to each respective universe.
Damn, Joe with his actual answers and such.
Gosh, a loophole and a
allow me.
loophole. I was really starting. I thought I was going to stump you with that one.
It's Final Fantasyception. All right, Joe, if you had to play one stage over and over, which would it be, and why is it Mandalia Plains?
It would be Mandalia Plains because your disc was scratched and we couldn't go past it. It was all we could do. So we got to level 99 playing on Mandalia Plains over and over and over again.
What level would you play and why is it Mandalia Plains? The way
By
you
the way,
worded that
Mandalia
question,
Plains.
Jesse, was so clutch.
By the way, Mandalia Plains is the very first random battle spot that you can get into after the prologue.
Scratched, I couldn't get past it. I had to rent another disc from Blockbuster, beat that
trade
stage,
it?
and go to the next one. No, I beat the stage, but my scratch disc was able to keep going after Mandela.
But my scratch disc was able to keep going. Oh, that's so funny. I ain't got any more questions. I was just commenting on your question.
Joe, why do you? I mean, this is a dumb but normal question. Why do you think Final Fantasy Tactics wasn't so popular?
Because the translation issues are rampant. Like, it's a really bad translation. Strategy RPGs were not popular at the time. I mean, you had Ogre Battle and you had a couple others that had come to the States, but they weren't like mainstream. When you think Final Fantasy, you think turn-based Final Fantasy VII, like really outlandish characters, and then you come into Final Fantasy Tactics, which is kind of a slower paced strategy game, and I can see why it didn't do so well.
That makes sense. All right, and if you had to make a team of only one class to make the game as hard as possible, what class would that be?
As hard as possible?
As hard as possible.
You would just make them all dancers. You can't do anything. You do no damage.
Just dance.
Well, can you still
just
auto
dance.
attack?
You can still auto because they use rugs. They slap them with rugs
There you go.
or shawls or whatever it is. I don't know what it exactly is. They look like rugs.
Shawls and shimmies is what you can kill them with.
Yeah.
If you had to create a different color of chocobo with a different ability, what would you create?
Well, it's already been done in the 1.3 mod. It's a white chocobo. I wouldn't, and he gets a bunch of different abilities. But if I had to create my own, let's see, I'm going with an orange chocobo, and he can like breathe fire like a flamethrower.
Ooh, like in a cone.
Yeah, like in a cone.
Just hitting your own guys, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what is the most hilarious or ridiculous unit in the game?
The most hilarious unit is my favorite is a monk with the ability 2 swords. So he has the ability 2 swords, but if you don't put any weapons on him, he just double punches with his fist.
Yes.
That's actually the secret. That's actually the secret best attack.
Secret tech.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
That's meta. You just run at them with dual fists.
Yeah, dual fists.
All right, I'm good.
All right. You guys, come on. I need tougher questions. These are softballs every time.
They're not supposed to be tough. They're supposed to be dumb.
Okay. All right, Jess, we're going to do questions for you about Skyrim. You want to go first, Connor?
Yes. Werewolf or vampire, and why?
I want to say neither, but I guess I'll say werewolf because it's the easiest to cure myself of.
Ooh, valid.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of either one of the classes. My wife's a big fan of the vampires.
Yeah.
What's the worst faction in the game?
I would say is it the Brotherhood that's the werewolves?
No, the companions.
Companions. I always forget the names. I would say them. They're like very culty.
Very culty.
There's a lot of the groups of people are very culty and very odd. The character that drives me the most. Well, it could be a question, but I guess the group of people is that guy in the beginning who's yelling about Talos.
You're awake.
That's actually
that guy.
one of my questions, but we'll get to that soon. We'll get to it.
The guy that's in the wagon that's like, oh, you're awake now.
No, not that guy.
All right. What was your favorite? Did you prefer one-handed or two-handed weapons, and what was your favorite weapon?
One-handed, and generally it was I would just craft like an ebony or glass sword, whatever's the best, and then enchant it with like some really dumb stuff.
Okay.
I like the one-handed. Yeah, two-handed I felt so clunky.
Agreed.
When you wake up from being put in the wagon at the beginning of the game, what was your crime that put you there?
Jaywalking.
In roads that aren't even real yet.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
The joke.
Killing the chicken in Rift.
Ooh, if you don't kill the
Connor to explain the joke.
That's the only way to do it. I don't get the joke unless I explain it. Then it becomes clear.
What else you got, Connor?
That's all I got. That rest are on you. That's all I got.
All right, here it goes. Rapid fire. Stormcloaks or Imperials?
Oh God! Once again, neither. Stormcloaks.
All right,
There's no reason why. It's just it was like one of the awkward parts of the game, in my opinion.
I would have accepted neither or both as an
I
acceptable
said
answer.
neither. Yeah,
All
neither
right,
was what I
you
really
play
wanted.
both sides, so you
Because you're
always come
getting
out on top.
because yeah, that's true. But it's like because you're getting involved in a war, you're like, I don't really want to be involved in this. I'm the Dragonborn. I got better things to do.
I got better things to do.
What stopped you from being an adventurer in real life?
I took an arrow to the back.
I took an arrow to the knee.
I
When
mean,
stealing from shop owners, do you prefer bucket on the head, cauldron, or killing them?
probably killing them.
No bucket on the head.
Can I give a D answer? A D answer.
Yeah,
Getting
go ahead.
getting speeds to 100 and then selling them a bunch of potions they don't need and then buying all their stuff, waiting 24 hours and doing it again. That's my answer, D.
Just break the economy. That's what you.
Yeah.
That's what you kill them by
Break the
breaking their
economy.
economy.
Exactly.
All right. What's your favorite way to kill Nazim or the Tal guy in Whiterun?
Man, I've done it so many times. So what did I do recently? Recently, I stood next to a guard, shot him in the face with an arrow, and killed him, and then paid the guard instantly. I was right next to him. I was like, I'm just gonna do this right in front of you. I wasn't even the Thane yet, so it was like I couldn't use my Thane skills. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna really assert my dominance by hitting him with an arrow, turning to this guy, and be like, here's 1,000 gold. Everything's fine.
Like, hey,
So
by the
point
way,
blank
you
arrow
didn't
to the
see
face.
that.
Yeah.
All right. And last question: do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Jeez. Yeah, of course I don't.
God.
All right, that's all we have for Skyrim questions. All right, Connor, you ready for Bioshock Infinite?
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead, Jess.
All right. So there are a lot of ridiculous mechanics in Bioshock Infinite. What's the most absurd one to you?
The time freeze. Where you're just like, oh, you're attacking me. No, you're not. I'm gonna ignore you and go do something else. Run past.
What is worse to die to? A racist in Bioshock Infinite or the first Goomba from Mario 1?
The first Goomba.
Really?
It's probably it's got to be the first Goomba.
That hurts.
All right.
That's a whole new low. The first Goomba.
Where do you think Elizabeth keeps finding all this random ammo?
Literally, where? Because I searched everywhere, all nooks, so I have no idea. She has her own black market that you don't have access to. That's the only thing I can come up with.
If you were baptized and had to take a new 3-word name with Taco being the middle name, what would it be?
Lord Harambe Taco.
So Lord Taco Harambe?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Anything to do that with Harambe. R.I.P.
Got it.
King.
If they turned Bioshock Infinite into a movie or TV show, who do you think they would get to cast either Booker or Elizabeth?
Ooh. Elizabeth would be.
Sure one.
I'm gonna say. What is her name from Friends?
Oh, Courtney Cox?
Yes. I was like, what is her? I'm like
20
blanking
years
her.
ago, maybe.
Yeah, 20
Yeah,
years ago.
I
sure.
know. I'm stuck in the past, but after her
Okay.
after her scream haircut, obviously, because that was a rough patch.
Oh, okay. Ellie from The Last of Us was a more useful in-game companion. Change my mind.
Elizabeth would literally, she saved my butt so many times where she'd be like, Booker health. I'm like, oh, that's exactly, yes, 10 out of 10. That's what I needed right now as I'm fighting this Patriot. Thank you. She would just come in so
Okay.
much clutch.
Does she ever shoot the enemies in the head herself?
That hurts to say, but no.
Okay. You have successfully changed my mind.
You did your best on that one.
I tried.
I am out.
Okay. If Booker and Zachary Comstock pointed at each other like the Spider-Man meme, would this game have been the greatest of all time instead of just a measly 94 out of 100 on Metacritic?
Absolutely. They could have just ended it right there. And I would have given it 10 of 10. I'd be like, haha, they got me there. Who did it? Who done did it?
All right. That's all I got. That was my last one.
I had an uncomfortable question. I just didn't want to ask it.
It's okay. We'll get them next time, buddy. All right, guys. My last game is Civilization 5. What do you got?
All right, I want to start.
Go for it.
How many times did you call out of work because of Civ 5?
More times than I care to admit, because we would start playing at like, a reasonable time, like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And the next thing you know, I just look at the clock and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're all just like, one more turn.
On Tuesday.
One more turn. And
On
then I just be like,
Tuesday.
all right, I'm not going to work today now. It happened a lot.
More
I
often.
blame Dan and Dennis.
Agreed. I don't have anything. That's it. I don't know this game at all, so I didn't know what to look
Good
up.
news. I have 5 solid questions.
Boom,
All right,
rapid
Joe.
fire.
Convince me otherwise. Civ 5 is just Monopoly. The friendships ended, games never finished, and you still won't trade with me.
I mean, it's exactly like Monopoly, except it's enjoyable. Monopoly, I've flipped the table a lot of
And
times.
how many people you played against flipped their computer?
Dennis,
You were
every time
attacking
we
them
played.
with submarines.
Yeah, Dennis every time we played, because for some reason, I don't know why it is, but anytime Dennis and I would play, or Dan and I would play, uh so when you're doing like war against other players, and you can kind of like set up your units to attack at the end of the turn while the turn is flipping, and then at the beginning of the turn, if you've already had it set up, they will auto attack when it starts. And for some reason, every time my units always just destroyed their units before they could even move. So they didn't like playing with me.
Glad I never played.
Yeah, you'd get destroyed too.
Okay, maybe not. We'll see. I'm pretty good at strategy games. I was
Yeah, you
very good
are.
at StarCraft. Get off my back. All right.
You are.
If you could get the hours back that you played Civ 5, what would you do differently this time you played Civ 5?
If I replayed Civ 5 again,
I'm saying if you got all the hours back in your life that you played Civ 5, what would you do differently while wasting those hours playing Civ 5 again?
uh, I would. That's a good question. I would probably not play Civ 5 and just go back to World of Warcraft.
Wow. That was not an acceptable answer and a terrible answer at the same time. All right, this one's a 2-part question.
2-part. Let's go.
Who was your favorite leader to random and why?
I liked randoming the Ethiopian guy because he was broken and you could get your Pantheon early, and Dan would probably quit the game after he didn't get the right Pantheon.
It was like when your friends just quit the game. That sounds. And then what was your least favorite and why?
I didn't like the the Huns, or sorry, no, the Mongolians. And
Did you say the Huts? You don't like the
no,
Huts?
no,
The Huns from
the
Mulan.
Huns.
I know.
I was gonna say the Huns, but I instead went with the Mongolians. Weren't an interesting civilization. Their units were underwhelming, and you had to play like really aggressive early games to get them to even work. And if you got to late game, you lost. And I like playing late game civs.
Okay. Why haven't they made a Civ 5 Star Wars expansion?
They did. It's called Sid Meier's Starships.
Yeah, that's not the same. And
Okay.
and then my final question, what do you think is the dumbest way to win the game?
The dumbest way is via diplomacy, by getting all the city states to vote for you, and having the World Congress happen and the United Nations happen. Because you're literally just paying money to city states for a vote. That's all you do. You're paying money to win.
Oh, pay to win.
Hey, pay to win. Yeah, that's where it started.
All right, is that it? That's all you guys got?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, we did it. What do you think, boys?
I
had
loved it.
fun.
That was
This
fun.
is exciting.
Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't so painful, was it?
No, that was exciting. I think we should do this again with different games.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, I'll definitely be prepared with more ridiculous questions. I cannot wait.
Yes.
But okay, that is all the time that we have for this episode. But before we take off, as a final reminder, I just want to give everyone the email again so you can contact us. If you have any comments about the show, if you want to be on the show, we're considering having guests. Maybe we'll have you. So you can
Ooh.
email us at I might need this later, agp@gmail.com. All right, boys. What are
Hold
you
on.
playing this week? What are you
Hold
playing
on.
this week?
Hold up.
Okay, I'm holding up.
You want to talk about what we're going to do next week?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
Oh.
So next
Yeah.
week, our
Yeah, go ahead,
question
Jeff.
is going to be favorite video game villain.
Yeah.
What-a-na!
Yeah, it's a big boy question. I gotta do some preparation for that one.
Joe's going to have to do some soul searching.
Yeah, I have to do some soul searching.
He's going to has to get in his metabolic chamber.
Boom.
Yeah, because sometimes the villain is somebody that I think should have been the protagonist.
Agreed. Because
Just
they
saying.
should always be the protagonist.
Delita?
Yes. Well, he wasn't really. He's not really the villain. Don't say that.
Yeah,
He's not the villain.
I know. Oh. All right, so what are we playing this week?
Yeah. What are you guys playing this week?
So this week I beat it once, so now I'm going back through is Fallen Order, the Star Wars Fallen Order game. It's so much fun. It is, now that I've unlocked the Sith lightsaber, so much better.
Just because it's a red saber, it's better.
Yeah, it's better. I can now and I can wear the Inquisitor outfit while I'm slaying people. I feel more at home.
There you go.
All right. I am going to be playing. I'm going to continue my Final Fantasy Tactics 1.3 series for YouTube. Also, I just finally. I know I'm like years behind and a couple generations of console behind, but I finally just got Watch Dogs, and I want to try that out. So that's on my to-do list for this week.
That's a good one. You'll like that.
And I'm gonna play a new game that just came out, Skyrim.
Skyrim 2077.
I haven't heard of it. What is that?
The 38th update, special extreme collector's edition.
Yeah, special extreme Todd Howard edition.
Yeah, it has the golden cartridge with the red stripes.
Where Thomas the Tank Engine flies in. I like that one.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Yes.
Yes, this time I've decided to play different style of character. I'm gonna do a sneaky archer.
Ooh.
Oh, taking a page out of my book.
I like it. I like it. That's the best.
Actually, to be funny, to be less funny, I've actually never played the game like that, so I'm trying it this time.
Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna hate it because I know that you don't like to sneak around and do stuff. You just want to go in and fight.
When you get sneaked to a certain point, you don't sneak anymore. You just walk.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it. So for Jesse and Connor, my name's Joe, and thanks again for listening to us on I Might Need This Later, a Gamers podcast. See you later, guys.
Later, guys.
Gaming.